Hello guys and welcome to today's Los Blancos podcast. Today we will be discussing the Barcelona game. It is El Clasico time once again, and it is the third Clasico of the season. If you recall, the first El Clasico, Jude Bellingham dropped the double on Barcelona's head. Second El Clasico, Vinicius dropped a hat-trick on Barcelona's head and Rodrigo scored in that one 4-1. And then here we are, the third El Clasico of the season. And it could be potentially a big one. You know, there could be potential big consequences as a result of this El Clasico, depending on the winner. If you look at the La Liga table, we're top, obviously 8 points ahead of Barcelona. 31 matches played, so this can be second match played. If we win, that extends the lead to 11 points, and that is title wrapped up. That is done. If Barcelona win this game, it's back to 5 points. The lead is back to 5 points, and it's looking like a nervy ending. We are still favourites, but it's not comfortable. It's not a very comfortable lead to have 5 points. So this game is very important to make sure that we go ahead and finish the job on Barcelona. This season from Barcelona's perspective has been a poor season. I would say on their part, they felt like it's been a poor season. There have been some good aspects of it. The main good aspects have been the fact that they've integrated Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí into the squad, as well as some other younger guys like Hector Fort, like Marcui, all these guys who are coming into the team and have played minutes for Barcelona. But I think overall you can look at it as a failure, because considering they are 8 points behind in La Liga, 7 games left, and they're knocked out of the Champions League. They lost in the Copa del Rey to Athletic Club. They lost the Supercopa final to us as well. So all in all, it's been a poor season for Barcelona, and it's been seen as that way for them as well. Xavi is seemingly leaving, but ever since the leaving message, Barcelona have been on great form. I've got to give it to them. Where the leaving message was given was after the 5-3 Villarreal loss. Then they went on to beat Osasuna 1-0, then Alaves 3-1, then they drew 3-3 to Granada, where they were poorer, if I remember correctly. Then they beat Celta Vigo 2-1, which again they were quite poor in. Then a 1-1 draw against Napoli, which they probably should have won. Then a 4-0 destruction of Getafe, which, that was fair enough. That was a very good game. Then a 0-0 with Athletic Club, which they were dodgy once again, against a depleted Athletic Club side as well, must be said. Mallorca, they beat 1-0, which they were alright in. 3-1 against Napoli, which they were good. Then they destroyed Atletico 3-0, which they were really good in that game. Las Palmas, they were alright, and then they beat PSG first leg. They were really good first leg. Then they beat Cadiz 1-0. They were last weekend, which was alright from them. And then PSG destroyed them midweek 4-1, and you can see as a whole Barcelona are playing good. They're getting the results that they need. But at this point in time, am I that scared of Barcelona? Maybe not. And I would say that it's definitely something to be wary about, because both clubs came from a midweek result, one being better than the other. But I would say Barcelona are going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, because this is ultimately all they've got to play for the rest of the season. This El Clasico is all that they have from now until the end of the season, is this El Clasico. And so I think they would, I'd be inclined to say that Barcelona throw everything at this El Clasico, and because a draw or a loss ain't good for them whatsoever. It does nothing for them if they get a draw or a loss, and that is probably season over for them. If they get there is only one result that favours them and that helps them is a win. So I think I'd be inclined to say Barcelona throw everything at this game, and I think they pick a team, they pick a lineup, pick a tactic. All of this based on that is the fact that they've got to just throw everything at this game, because they've got nothing else to play for. If they look at the rest of their you look at the rest of their fixtures so far, and from now to the end of the season, they've obviously got this at the Bernabeu, then they've got Valencia at home, then Girona away from home. So that's gonna be a tough game, but I would expect Barcelona to win that. And then Real Sociedad, same thing. Barcelona will probably win against Real Sociedad. Almeria, and then Rayo Rayo at home, Almeria away from home. Sevilla is the final game of the season from them, especially with Sevilla potentially going to be in a relegation battle. I believe Barcelona will find that a bit tough, but you never know. Sevilla might be safe by that point, and they don't really care. They just throw whatever they want at the game. So it's a decent end to the season for Barcelona. They've got some tough games in there, but they've got some easy ones potentially by that point too. So you think Barcelona will go at everything for today's game against Real Madrid. So if we look at the Barcelona tactic against PSG, but let's talk about that PSG game, because that was really a defining moment in their season. They were really good for the first 15 minutes. They defended well, and it just looked like Barcelona were gonna walk away with a tie. Then half an hour gone, Araujo makes that stupid challenge, and then it just looked like PSG were just gonna take it away from them, and they did. Ousmane Dembele he was fantastic in this game, and that was really good from Ousmane Dembele. I enjoyed it watching his performance, especially the way Barcelona fans were booing him. I thought that was kind of retribution. It's not like the Barcelona fans were too friendly with Ousmane Dembele when he was even at Barcelona. So I don't understand why Ousmane Dembele wouldn't have any animosity towards them. Vitinha scored a wonderful goal, and then Kylian Mbappe scored 2 goals. So Barcelona fans better get used to saying "Gol de Mbappe," and so that was really enjoyable for PSG. I think we've got a potential problem in the fact that Barcelona are going to be really fired up for this game. There's a potential that could happen, but there also is a potential that they could be really flat. They threw everything at that game, and so mentally they're deflated, they're physically deflated, and I think that could be a potential good point for us to have. And I think everything that came after that result from against PSG. Gundogan said after the game, he he criticized Ronaldo Araujo's red card. He said I don't know about the referee's decisions. This is paraphrasing, by the way. I don't know about the referee's decisions, but it's not a smart decision to make that at that moment in time. And so that's a fair comment. I thought that was a fair comment to say. It wasn't a smart decision by Ronaldo Araujo, and these type of decisions have been the reason why Barcelona have struggled in the previous seasons. Lapses of judgment alongside some good passages of play, and then suddenly the lapses of judgment just completely override what happened in the good moments for Barcelona. And so after that, Ronaldo Araujo responded to Ilkan Gundogan's comments. He said I don't know. One sec, let me find it. He said I've got a code of ethics, and I don't think I'm responsible. I think he and then he gave a quick he just gave some vague answers past that, and so he said he's not responsible. No, obviously it was conditions. The game were because we were left with 10, but there are many things about the game itself. So. So some comments back from Araujo, and then after that Gundogan gave some comments as well, saying he doubled down on it, saying that there's no problem in me saying this because I just want the team to get better, stuff like that. And so you can see little problems brewing in Barcelona. I think, to be honest, Araujo is right on one end. Gundogan shouldn't really be going to the media and saying this stuff, but everything he said is true. Like, it was a dumb decision from Araujo. He should have just let Barca shoot, because at that moment in time, it didn't look like PSG were gonna score one and then take the game away from Barcelona. It was very much an even game, and it would have been 4-3 on aggregate. So it was a stupid decision from Araujo. But Gundogan wasn't right to go into the media and say it. Let's talk about the potential lineup, which I think will be deployed by Barcelona. goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen, which is obviously going to be different from the Supercopa final, which is Iñaki Peña. Then right back Jules Koundé, centre backs Ronaldo Araujo, Pau Cubarsí, and João Cancelo. Then the midfield three: Pedri, Gundogan, and De Jong. There's also a little bit of question whether it would be Christensen in the defensive midfield role, but I think, considering the fact that Barcelona are going to throw everything at this game, I think that they will play with this three, more attacking midfielders type formation. And then the front three will probably be Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, and Rafinha. So, there's one alternative, which is obviously what I just said, where Andreas Christensen starts in defensive midfield. The other option is probably if you want to play Jean Felix instead of Lamine Yamal, but I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that's a good idea, particularly. And then the other option is Fermin Lopez, who started the first game, obviously the first El Clasico, so maybe he plays as well. But I think overall it's that type of setup, and I think that's the one they'll be looking to put. There's been a lot of what's the word? A lot of hype around Pau Cubarsí, and I've got to say he's been really good. Whenever I've watched Barcelona, I thought he looked really comfortable on the ball. He looked really, really confident dealing with any attackers. I thought after the first leg, whenever the Barcelona fans said Pau Cubarsí locked up Mbappe, that was stupid because Mbappe was locked up by Araujo and Koundé, but whatever. But whoever's going to be attacking Cubarsí is going to have to find a way to make sure that this form doesn't get to them. Whether it is Rodrigo or Brahim Diaz or Vinicius, whoever comes up against Pau Cubarsí is obviously going to have to cause a little bit of problems. Now, the two centre backs, Jules Koundé and Ronald Araujo, you saw with Mbappe and Barcola caused Araujo plenty of problems. I think Vinicius is going to have to do the same thing. I know what Xavi's going to do. We all know what Xavi's going to do. Xavi's going to put Ronaldo Araujo on Vinicius practically the whole game. But this new role of Vinicius through the middle, kind of more of an inside forward, is causing Ronaldo Araujo a few more problems because he's not going to have the double man, especially when Vini beats him. He can get the red card, and so it just looks like he's not going to have the cover, which is beautiful for Vinicius. He's going to have a one-on-one matchup with Ronaldo Araujo, and we saw last time what happened. Araujo got the red card in the Supercopa final, so it's not good. It's not a good record on Ronaldo Araujo's on his record when Vini destroyed him, Mbappe destroyed him, and Rashford destroyed him. So it's quite nice to see that. But a place where we can definitely exploit is João Cancelo. We saw him make a stupid challenge on Dembele in the midweek. I think something similar here should be used. I think you have to try and attack down that side because that side is going to be a little bit more open than the other side. You're going to have to be wary of João Cancelo's runs forward, which is why I think Fed is a must start in this game to make sure you track it and make sure that João Cancelo doesn't have the space to do whatever he wants. I think Rafinha is going to be on great form. He's been on great form. He's played really, really well over the last few weeks, and I think, I think a lot of people hate on Rafinha, but I don't mind him that much. I think he's a good player, and I think he can definitely cause a lot of problems. He's a good goal scorer when he's on form, and I think we're gonna have to be careful of that. I think he's on the list. This new left wing role for Rafinha, I thought it would never work for him on the left wing, but apparently it has, and he's been really, really good. He's been scoring plenty of goals. Lamine Yamal, I've got no problems, to be honest. I think Ferland Mendy versus Yamal, I think that'll be good enough. I think, to be totally honest, he would deal with it. I think Ferland Mendy will make sure that Lamine Yamal doesn't really have a good game. And then Rafinha, I'll trust. This is a little bit of a problem because previously I did say that Lucas Vazquez, I said yesterday quickly that Sean said yesterday as well that Lucas Vazquez should play, but it does scare me a little bit. That is the only place that scares me a little bit, where Lucas Vazquez versus Rafinha is maybe going to be a bit of a problem. But at the end of the day, you just got to play the guys who are fresh. Lewandowski, I've got no problems dealing with. I think Rudiger or Militao, whoever plays this game, is going to deal with him completely fine. I'm a bit scared about Gundogan because I think Gundogan makes excellent runs into the box, and I've always been critical of our tracking from the midfield into the defence. I think that's one of the main places where we struggle with in this team. We didn't struggle with it against Manchester City, but I think that is definitely a place where we could definitely struggle. Trying to track Gundogan, and it did cause us problems in the first fixture of the season, so that could be a bit of a problem. I mean, we've got to talk about Barcelona's bench strength in inverted commas. We don't inverted commas, so we don't know exactly what Barcelona can bring off the bench. I mean, it's going to be Ferran Torres, João Felix, Fermin Lopez, and then whoever depending on the game state, whoever you want to bring on. So João Felix has been up and down. I would say that I've got no problems in dealing with João Felix. I think he's never been good against Real Madrid, so I think he's not going to cause us too many problems. Ferran Torres can cause us problems, though. I think he's caused us problems in the past, especially with this fact that he isn't exactly this Barcelona type winger who wants to get involved in the play. He will get in and try and ghost into good positions, which is always going to be a problem for us. Fermin Lopez is the same thing. You want a goal, he will come on and bring it for you. But I don't think he's exceptional quality player. I don't think but he's a useful player, definitely for Barcelona to have. But overall, you can just see where Barcelona are going to take this game. They tried to sit back and defend against PSG midweek, which they did really, really well until it was exposed once, and then Barcola drew the foul from Araujo. It was exposed once, and that's what happened. So, for me, I think what Barcelona are going to try and do. It's going to be try and dominate the ball, try and get in behind for Real Madrid, and what Real Madrid are going to do in response to that. It's going to be counter and strike. It's very, very clear what Barcelona are going to do because they need to win this game. They need to try and take this game to Real Madrid, which benefits us definitely 100%. We're going to have to see, I think, Barcelona highline, which, again, same thing, benefits us a lot. It definitely benefits us a lot. And so let's talk about Real Madrid starting lineup, because I think we have to pick a team that is trying to defend deep, but not as deep as Manchester City. Please, I don't want to ever see that again. It was good enough for that one game, but I do not want to ever see that game again, because it was very, very painful, and it was very, very scary for the whole 90 minutes. I was like, oh, this can be really, really tight. It's really, really scary, and so I don't want to see that again. But same thing, trying to sit back and hit Barcelona on the counter attack will work in this game. I think, especially if you look at the Supercopa final, they just couldn't handle Vinicius and Rodrigo. So something similar here would be great. Right back, I think I will say Lucas Vázquez in the end. But that's still going to be a very, very contentious topic. I'm not 100% on it, but you saw the way Dani Carvajal went off. He went off after facing Doku and Grealish for 110 minutes practically. He went off with cramp or something. I don't think it was cramp. He might have pulled up or something. So you're just gonna have to pick Lucas Vázquez. It's not what you want, but it's just it is a necessity at this point. You just got to do it. You got to do what is best for you. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult choice to make, but you just got to do it. And then centre backs. I asked Sean yesterday whether he wants to play with Militao as centre back. I'm gonna say no. I think Militao's game is next Friday against Real Sociedad. I think that's the perfect game for Eder Militao to come back and regain that fitness just ahead of the Bayern Munich game would be absolutely perfect. But I think for this game, especially with the fact that Rudiger and Nacho didn't really have to run that much, considering they were just stuck in their box. So I'll send Rudiger and Nacho once again, and then if we need to tighten things up near the end, I think Militao, there you go. That's your thing. You just need to clear some stuff outside the box, and then you should be good. Left back, like I said already, Mendy trying to deal with Lamine Yamal should be fine. I think Mendy's shown that he can just deal with most wingers in world football. I think this is no different. Just make sure that Mendy is good for this game. He's healthy. He played the full 91-20 against Man City, so just make sure he's healthy. But I do not want to see Fran Garcia play this game because that's the potential to be cooked there. Then the midfield four. Now, I would be inclined to give rotations to this game, but, at least Tchouaméni didn't play midweek so that we could play Tchouaméni, no doubt, here, which is really, really great to see Tchouaméni back. And, we haven't lost, we still somehow haven't lost a single game with Tchouaméni in the defensive midfield, which just shows how important he is to our team. And his defensive presence, his calmness on the ball, it just brings us so much. And we're lucky we got the win without Tchouaméni midweek against Man City, but he would have been an even better player to have there. Camavinga, it's a really tight one for the rest of these midfield spots, because I really want to give Fede some rest, but you just need to play him here, because you can't let Rafinha double up on. You can't let Rafinha and Joao Cancelo just go on Dani Carvajal, on Lucas Vazquez. Sorry, you just can't let that happen. So you've got to get Fede Valverde here, which is a bit nerve-wracking, but what can you do? Fede's running on fumes. I think he can go for one more and then just give him whatever rest he needs against Real Sociedad. Just give him the whole game off. Just send him back home for that game. It's completely fine. But yeah, it's really, really. I'm not happy about that, because the fact that he is tired, you can see he's tired, but he keeps going and he's still a warrior for us. So what can you do? Then the other midfielder is Luka Modric. I think Modric should play this game because of the fact he didn't start against Man City. But that being said, Kroos didn't start. He didn't play the full 90 either. So, he came off around 80. Maybe Kroos can start this game, but I would be confident in starting either one. I think Modric. This is the final El Clasico. I really want to see Modric play his final El Clasico at the Bernabeu. I think, he deserves it. I think Modric gets this game in the left centre midfield. And then Jude, Jude was nearly dead by the end, but you've just got to play him because you need to have him here, which is kind of sad because he needs the rest. But what can you do? You need to give him you need to play him in this game, in this high stakes magnitude game. But what can you do, eh? In terms of Brahim Diaz, I would have been inclined to put the Brahim Diaz here, but actually, I'm going back on my lineup, which I previously decided, because I think Brahim Diaz wouldn't be a bad addition to this squad right here. It's a tough one. Maybe you need Jude as an outlet, but I wouldn't be mad to see Brahim Diaz in the starting lineup here, because you saw the way he released pressure for us against Man City. Man City had, as soon as Brahim Diaz came in, Man City's unrelenting pressure on us, it kind of eased a little bit, and we got out a little bit more, which was good to see. So you know what, I wouldn't be mad to see Brahim Diaz here. That being said, if Jude is 100% fit and healthy, play him here and then give him the rest against Real Sociedad, bro. That Real Sociedad game, just give everyone rest, bro. It's whatever, I don't really care about that Real Sociedad game. So yeah, I think Jude plays here if he needs to, but otherwise, I wouldn't be mad at seeing Brahim Diaz up top. And then obviously the front two, Vinicius and Rodrigo, they both came off before the penalty shootout, with Rodrigo coming off a lot earlier than Vinicius. Yeah, I think it's completely fine in playing these two up front. I think Rodrigo's on great form. He's scoring plenty of goals. I think both of these guys are going to have a huge role to play. We're going to have to play on counters. And if Brahim's going to be there as well, that's going to help us a lot. But, we're going to be relying on a lot of counters in this game. And so, we're just going to have to try and get up that pitch and try and exploit that high line like we did in the Supercopa final. We have to try and exploit that high line of Barcelona's, and therefore we have to try and help ourselves in that way. So, that's one thing for us to look forward to in terms of we've got to make sure that we exploit Barcelona's high line, and make sure that Barcelona don't have any ease in defending us. So that's one thing I've got to say about that front two. I think Vini's finally got over that little hump of the Ronald Araujo 1v1s, because I think he realised that he can draw a lot of fouls from Ronald Araujo defending, and I think he can't be as physical, especially if he's going through the centre as well, because That's gonna be red card number 2 against Vinicius, and that's gonna be very, very funny to see if Araujo has another red card. So yeah, that's great to see. Apart from that, I mean, we want to see Joselu. Nah, I think it's not the game for Joselu to play, which is unfortunate, but I think it's completely fine for this game. Off the bench, you know, you've obviously got Camavinga to change the game if you need him to. You've got Kroos, you got Dani Carvajal if you need him to. You've obviously got Fran Garcia, Arda Güler if you want to use Arda here, but I don't think he will. Arda next week, please. I want to see Arda Güler start a game. Ancelotti, I didn't say it, but I want to see him start a fucking game, bro. He needs to start. I don't understand. What does he need to do to start? But Ancelotti next Friday against Real Sociedad, please start Arda Güler. That's all I want to see. I don't care if we lose 4 or 5-4. If Arda Güler scores 4 goals, I'll be happy. You know, it's just what I want to see from now until the end of the season. Arda Güler start some games. In and around La Liga, some news if you want to get some talking points. Obviously, you know, the Girona title race is over. Unfortunately, they're 10 points behind now when we've obviously got a game in hand as well. So unfortunately, Girona, they might get the Champions League. They're 7 points ahead of Atleti, but they're 10 points ahead of Athletic Club in 5th. But I think that is the title race over for Girona, which is unfortunate for them. But what can you do? Atleti play today against Alaves, 5:30 kickoff. That is UK time, unfortunately. So 6:30 in Spain. And that if I were to do the quick translation, in my head, 5:30 to divided by -5 is 10:30. That's 10:30 Eastern. So you know, if you're living in New York, Miami, wherever, you know, that's 10:30 kickoff. Atleti Alaves, and then Real Madrid Barcelona is the late game, which I always enjoy. I enjoy more than I hate it when they put the El Clasico games at 3:30. I understand why they do it, because they want to get the Asian viewers in as well. So you know, so that whoever lives in the Middle East, whoever lives in East Asia, South Asia, they can get those viewers in as well. So maybe in Australians as well as the American viewers, which are always going to watch the games. So I understand why they do it, but it still annoys me because, you know, the biggest game should be on at the late night. You know, everyone does it that way. So I don't understand why La Liga doesn't always do it that way. But today it is on at the late game at the Santiago Bernabeu. Potentially Luka Modric's last El Clasico, as well as Nacho's. Potentially Lucas Vazquez's last El Clasico as well. So I want to see a goal from Lucas Vazquez to honour it. You know, finally, the final goal against Barcelona. I love Lucas Vazquez, man. He's so fantastic. And then, you know, apart from that, I mean, Barcelona's season's practically over, which is great to see. Atletico Madrid, who cares about Atletico Madrid? That is. And then if you talk about some news from Real Madrid, there's been a lot of news about. We haven't talked about transfers in a long while. You know, we'll be talking about that soon enough. Hopefully, we've got some transfers, more transfer section coming soon. But for now, it's still in the gulag. It's not coming out yet. But I do want to quickly touch on the fact that we've been talking about Franco Mastuonono. I can't say his name. Franco Mastuonono. From River Plate. He's a young 16-year-old attacking midfielder. I think he's a really good talent. But at this moment in time, he's nothing more than a talent. I think he's a great player, but you've got to give him time. I don't think he's Endrick in the fact that, you know, he's something that you just have to bring in at age 16. It's not. I don't think he's that. He's a good player. He's a talented young player, but I don't think he's anything like too special. We've literally got him in the academy. We've got Nico Path already. I don't understand. We've got Arda Güler. We've just got too many of these guys. I don't know if Franco Mastuonono is the guy for us to sign. We've also been linked to someone called Thomas Parmo of Independiente in Argentina as well. He's a talented kid. Same thing as Maston. Literally every single point I just made about Maston, I think we can make about Thomas Parmo as well. We've also been linked to someone a young centre back called Aaron Anselmino of Boca Juniors. He's a good centre back. I like him. I've seen a little bit of him, a little bit of highlights of him. I haven't seen a Boca Juniors game in a long while. It's probably since the Libertadores final. So I don't know about the kid, but that well. But he looks really solid. He looks like a solid defender. Maybe we look more on him in the future, but for now, it's just very much rumours. And then apart from that, Matías Sule, who I will link a Mastronono and a Matías Sule scouting report in the description below. So if you want to read up more about these guys, just look in the description. But I think Matías Sule is a really talented player. He plays for Frosinone in Italy. He's been the only reason why Frosinone has been getting in this relegation battle. He's been the only guy who's been trying to keep them alive. He's just creating so many chances, and they're not putting any of them away. He's scoring most of their goals. It's just, he is a really talented player. He's on loan from Juventus, but Juventus are going to sell him this year most likely. So yeah, we'll see about him. He's talked about how he wants to play for Real Madrid one day. And apart from that, I think those are most of the rumours done. Alphonso Davies, there's no updates on him. Trent, Liverpool are capitulating in the Premier League, and they capitulated in the Europa League. So he's getting closer to Real Madrid, maybe, but I don't know about that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I think, to be honest, I think Trent should stay at Liverpool. I think I would like to see him at Real Madrid, but I think someone like Trent, if even he isn't staying loyal to his boyhood club, I just think it's a bad sign for football. So I would like to see him stay at Liverpool, but I also would like to see him play at Real Madrid because he's a fantastic football player. Otherwise, Mbappe obviously dropped the 2 on Barcelona, and we haven't really got any extra news on him since the last time we spoke about him. So nothing really special about that. Endrick continues to score goals for Palmeiras, which is beautiful to see. And apart from that, I think that concludes today's episode. I'm just thinking whether we've got anything else to talk about before we conclude. But if you haven't watched the Man City review from yesterday, do go watch that. It was a good one from me and Sean. And we'll be back next week with the Real Sociedad review and a Bayern Munich preview. So exciting times to be a Real Madrid fan in the final 8 of the final 4 of the Champions League. And it's potentially big games coming up. So hopefully we beat Barcelona today. Big El Clasico. Potentially league title deciding. And yeah, next week Real Sociedad, Bayern Munich, then Cadiz, then Bayern Munich again, and then Granada. So the important thing about the Bayern Munich game, Real Madrid have the home leg for the second leg, which is beautiful to see. Santiago Bernabeu will be getting the final laugh, and I think I'll be confident about that. But Bayern Munich had a lovely win against Union Berlin yesterday, 5-1, where Kane scored plenty of. How much does Kane score? Let me quickly have a look how many Kane scored yesterday against Union Berlin. He scored 1, but Leon Goretzka scored, Thomas Muller scored, Matisse Tell scored. So, that is it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, if you want to go check out and read more about Franco Mastronono or Matías Sule, go check the links in the description, as well as the fact you should go and follow Real Madrid Committee on Instagram. That is Sean's Instagram page, Sean's Instagram Real Madrid fan page. And so if you want to hear the best news about Real Madrid, the best opinions about Real Madrid, go and follow Sean on Instagram. It is in the description below as well. You can go find that easily and follow his Twitter as well. So, but that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye. Bye.